Amidst the sands of time and the labyrinthine annals of history, one enigmatic figure emerges as a captivating enigma, shrouded in allure and mystery: Cleopatra. Her story echoes through the ages, whispered in ancient texts and sung in legends, but the true essence of this legendary queen remains elusive, like fragments of a grand mosaic scattered across the ages. Cleopatra's journey starts with her childhood and upbringing, which provide insight into her eventual acts and choices. Cleopatra acquired a rich history that mixed Greek and Egyptian customs when she was born into the renowned Ptolemaic dynasty. This cultural mix was crucial in establishing her identity and attitude. Cleopatra was raised in the royal court and had a thorough education that included Greek and other languages in addition to her native Egyptian language. This multilingualism not only emphasized her academic brilliance, but also allowed her to speak successfully with a wide spectrum of people, a talent that would prove crucial as she negotiated the complicated political terrain. The interesting story of Cleopatra's rise to power unfolds among family tensions and political machinations. Cleopatra got enmeshed in the complicated power conflicts that typified the Ptolemaic court as she shared control with different family members. Her first notable partnership was a romance with Julius Caesar, a renowned Roman leader. This coalition not only cemented her dominance, but also demonstrated her political savvy. Cleopatra deliberately allied herself with Caesar, securing his backing as well as a crucial position in Roman politics. This was the beginning of her quest to become a powerful and important leader in her own right. Cleopatra's partnership with Rome is a watershed moment in her life, when her connections with key Roman leaders impacted history. Cleopatra's role in Roman politics became stronger as a result of her friendship with Julius Caesar. She obtained not just a strong ally, but also the birth of a son, Ptolemaic, also known as Caesarion, as a consequence of their connection. This relationship cemented her links to the Roman world and placed her as an important actor in the complicated international environment. However, it was her alliance with Mark Antony that would propel her to unimaginable heights. Cleopatra stretched her influence beyond Egypt's boundaries and into the heart of Roman politics by forming a political and emotional alliance with Antony. Their partnership represented more than simply the joining of two people. It represented the meeting of civilizations and empires. Cleopatra and Mark Antony would defy the existing power structures and create a dynamic that would attract the ancient world's attention. Cleopatra's life chapter, based on her alliance with Mark Antony, displays a complicated interplay of political maneuvers and personal relationships. Cleopatra's influence spread beyond Egypt's boundaries into the heart of the Roman Republic, thanks to her close collaboration with Mark Antony. Their union was defined not just by political connections, but also by a deep and intense love relationship, which solidified their link even more. Cleopatra's status as a prominent role in the geopolitical scene was cemented by Mark Antony's presence in the East. Their collaboration went beyond political maneuvers. It was a dynamic with enormous implications for the balance of power. Cleopatra aspired to protect her kingdom's interests while also strengthening her personal standing in a rapidly changing world by allying herself with a famous Roman leader. This partnership would pave the way for key events that would impact the fates of both people and the regions they controlled. The Battle of Actium was the conclusion of Cleopatra's tale, a dramatic turning moment that led to her untimely fate and marked the end of her incredible voyage. The war began when tensions between Cleopatra and Mark Antony on one side and Octavian, later Emperor Augustus, on the other escalated. This struggle culminated in a naval battle that would decide the destiny of the Roman Republic and Egypt's future. The armies of Cleopatra and Mark Antony were arrayed against those of Octavian at the Battle of Actium, which took place on the Ionian Sea in 31 BC. Despite Cleopatra's strategic brilliance and Antony's military expertise, their united troops were defeated, causing their big dreams to unravel. This setback effectively ended their alliance, leaving Cleopatra and Mark Antony in a difficult situation. The terrible story took a heartbreaking turn in the aftermath of the struggle. Faced with the reality that their ambitions of dominance had been dashed, Cleopatra and Mark Antony opted to commit themselves. Cleopatra famously permitted herself to be bitten by an asp, a poisonous snake, as the way of her death, knowing the dreadful repercussions of falling into Octavian's hands. When Mark Antony learned of Cleopatra's death, he followed suit, killing himself by falling on his own sword. Despite her historical significance, no one knows where Cleopatra was buried. According to history, Mark Antony and Cleopatra were buried together, which means that whoever discovers her tomb will also uncover Antony, an intriguing prospect. Most archaeologists believe Cleopatra's tomb lies in ancient Alexandria. However, this would imply that it is submerged underwater. A significant chunk of ancient Alexandria is now submerged under the Mediterranean Sea. According to Robert Gervil, retired professor of classics at the University of California, Los Angeles, even if untouched by human hands, earthquakes and seawater would have buried or submerged it. Her castle is almost definitely submerged, perhaps her tomb as well. Fortunately, some archaeologists are still hopeful, enthusiastic, and optimistic about finding Cleopatra's tomb. Kathleen Martinez, a criminal lawyer turned archaeologist, has dedicated her life to discovering Cleopatra, her personal idol, since 2009. Martinez portrayed Cleopatra as follows in a recent National Geographic interview. She threatened Rome, and Romans were afraid of her. She believed she could rule the world, despite the fact that she was a woman. She was a fighter, and she accomplished the unthinkable. This is why she is my heroine, and I will go to any length to discover her grave. These considerations prompted Martinez to initiate excavations at Osiris Magna, the biggest known temple of Sirius and Osiris in the Alexandria area. Martinez has already made astounding findings at the temple using modern technology, such as ground-penetrating radar, satellite photography, LiDAR, and remote sensing. Her excavations have yielded a bounty of unexpected antiquities, including many mummies, one with a golden tongue, sculptures, jewelry, coins, ceramics, and other objects. Martinez just found a 6.5-foot-tall, 4,300-foot-long tunnel 43 feet down at the temple. Martinez may not have discovered Antony and Cleopatra yet, but her expedition has the greatest promise in terms of locating Cleopatra's last burial site. The discovery of her tomb, as one of the most renowned ladies in ancient history, would be a life-changing and history-altering event. In this manner, Martinez's work has sparked and fueled our dreams about Cleopatra, Queen of the Nile, the great Roman men she loved, and the mysteries that lay inside her tomb. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more engaging historical content. Until next time, remember to delve into the annals of history and uncover the stories that have shaped our world.